Alright, so I'm back, and today we're going to take a look at TFC's Nemean, Razorclaw. And there he is in his lion mode, and he is one big toy. I mean, this guy is pretty massive. Now, I will say I do like the design of him better than the simplistic Unique Toys one, and the and you know, I'm probably gonna get grief for this, but what I view as an over-kibbly Mastermind Creations one. I don't have the Mastermind Creations one, so I can't say exactly if this guy's better or not. So, if anybody out there has the Mastermind one and wants to send it to me for free, I can then I can review them together. But until that happens, I have this guy and I have the Unique Toys one, and it's pretty expensive to be trying to collect two Predakings at the same time, let alone just one or three. So anyway. So here he is in his line mode. He does have some issues, and I'll go into that. First off, I want to show off a scale here. So here's the lion, and there's the Seeker Jet. So you can see he's much bigger than the Seeker Jet. And here he is next to the Unique Toys. And as you can see, I really like this one, but when it comes to just detail, design, and actually looking more like a lion, the TFC version just takes it. Takes it all day. This guy I still think looks pretty cool. I really like him. Looks very G1-esque. This guy looks more like a real lion. So, and he's got some heft to him too. He's not a hollow. You know, I mean, I'm sure he's got hollow parts, but he doesn't feel like like the new Voyagers. He feels a lot more solid than the new Voyagers. So, anyway. So, let's talk posability, and I'll point out a couple issues I have with him. First issue is the lion head and mane. On him, you see he's got the clearance and stuff like that, and this lion head is one solid piece. His mane is different pieces, so they kind of fold up a little bit, which is more for the transformation, but they don't lock into any position. The head, this little port right here, plugs into the back of the head of the robot, but they don't quite line up perfectly, so they don't lock in very well. So this head is constantly just kind of wiggling out of place. The arms are on ratchets, but because of the line mane, it does knock out, come out of place. You could pull the shoulder out, but that kind of breaks up the look of the lion. So yeah. It has a swivel at the arm. It bends at the elbow, but the way it's designed, this doesn't quite look natural to me. I think this bend should have been a little bit higher up. Then the foot is on a swivel here, and then a ball joint where it connects, so it gets a good range of motion there. And the claws do have a little bit of a pivot there. The waist does rotate in this mode. It's got these two little side panels that just kind of move out of place. So it does move. The cannons plug in just via 5mm port right there, so you can just take them off. And they've got a swivel where it connects to the cannon. There's a rotating swivel right below. And then there's a ratcheted hinge right there, and then the 5mm port, which of course, once you have it in there, it pretty much acts like another swivel. The tail is very loosely plugged in to this little slot back here, to the point where half the time it just kind of falls out. It's got a hinge on it, but the hinge never works because it doesn't really clip in there very well. I'm really not trying to badmouth this figure, but I'm just pointing out the flaws. I still think he looks really, really nice in this mode, but there's some design elements that they kind of botched. The back legs are on ratchets, in, out, up, down. It can bend, like where it's rotating, it can bend out there, but it also bends a little bit further out, pretty much right behind this portion. So it can bend here and here, but it likes to bend here, and that looks more of a natural pose anyway. He's got a hinge here, so that hinges. Then it hinges here. Then it hinges here, and then a ball joint at the foot, and then hinged claws. So you get a pretty decent range of motion. The back legs look a little weird until you get them in the right position. Like I said, my biggest issues with it is the tail. It doesn't plug in very well at all, and I can't seem to find any other place to plug it in at. So I mean, and this is where the instructions say to plug it in. So it's like it plugs in nicely, but just don't try and move the tail at all, because it's just gonna fall out, or yeah. I mean, it's frictioned in there, and it's very light friction. It's very strange because TFC Toys loves their 5mm ports and plugs. And this is definitely a 5mm plug, but it's flattened out. And this is definitely, it's just not an enclosed port hole. It doesn't close up. So if that were to close up, it'd probably hold up there a lot better. And I don't, I haven't really messed with the combine mode, so I don't know if there's a reason for that. But there you go. So yeah, all in all, I do like it. It is pretty cool. I do have issues like the line head not really locking into place anywhere. It's actually holding in there a lot better than it has for a very long time. But the mane does have a little bit of hinges there. So there's the little chin beard, and then the mouth does open just a little bit. Revealing some really nice looking teeth. I mean, those look really nice. I really like the way those look. And he's just got the fangs. He's got a full set of teeth. So anyway, let's get him into robot mode again. Like I've explained a few times, I don't like showing off the combine mode until I have the full combiner to show it off. These figures should be able to sell themselves individually, is my opinion. I don't think that we should, at this day and age, we shouldn't be sitting there like, well, I'll take all these really crappy figures because they make a good combine mode. They should be individually good, and then good as a combine mode. And if they are individually not that good, but great in combine mode, then let that combine mode sell you once it's all out. I don't want, like I said, you never know when this company or any company is going to go under. So if they go under, then you're stuck with half a combine mode, half a combiner team, and I would prefer to at least have decent figures of the Combiner team. Anyway, transform him. First thing I like to do is just I pull these cannons off. You don't have to do this. I do it for simplicity. It just makes it a lot easier to maneuver this guy. Then what you want to do is let's start with the legs. You want to straighten this out, and then you flip this out, and that will become his foot. Take this piece here, rotate it around, and then you can take this piece here. It's on a double hinge, so it just hinges up, and then you just fold it down like so. And then you can take the leg and just slide it down like you do with all the other TFC Predacons so far. You slide that down, and then now this is a really tight joint to get in, but give that a really good push and it locks in there very well. Then you can fold this piece down, and then this piece folds up, and then you take the leg, fold it down, and there you go. There's one of the legs. And do the same thing over here. You want to fold the foot down, or fold the leg down. It's kind of cool. It's almost like a skeletal leg. And then once you fold this down, it's just like covering over it. I kind of like the effect it gives. So it's kind of hard to get a good grip because everything down here is on a swivel. And you just kind of slide this down, and then again, getting that last click in there is kind of tough. But once you get it, like I said, it locks in there very well. And then you straighten the leg out. Like so. And then you want to flip this skirting up here and flip this skirting up here, and then you can rotate the waist around. It rotates here, and then it also rotates up here too. So there's two different places where it rotates. So again, it was like this, and you just rotate this around, plug that in, flip these down, just like so. Then up here for the arms, you want to pull them out, like so. And then you rotate the bicep around, flip this piece back, and you can flip in the claws. Slide that out, and then flip this up, flip out the hand, locks back into place. And unlike the Rhino, this actually locks into place. So it really confuses me why the Rhino doesn't lock in. The Rampage and Razorclaws did, and they were the original releases. So they take something and make it not work anymore. So slide the arm down. There we go. Then it rotates around. Flip this up. Rotate the hand out. Flip this down. Flip the claws in, and then it just kind of sits on the back of the arm, just like so. Not too intrusive, I don't think. So now what we want to do is you take the line head here and you pull this forward like so, and just kind of position this how you want to. Again, it doesn't lock into place anywhere here. It just kind of flops. Turn it around, and you take this back panel here and you flip this up, and it's on a double hinge here, so you just up and in, just like so. I did that off camera, so let's do this again. So you just flip this up and in, like so. Then you can take this piece here and just flip this back like so. And this whole section does pull out, and the predaking head is right in there, which is really kind of cool. That he hides it very well, I think. But this, again, it slots in, but it doesn't lock in very well. It's very floppy. Take this piece here, and you just kind of fold it down like so. You can really kind of position these just however you want to, and do the same thing over here. Like so. Rotate the head forward. Then you take the waist here and you just claps that in. It does lock, but not very tightly. As you can see, it's not a very good fit there, which is very unfortunate. I hate when things don't lock together. And there is your really, really, really large Razorclaw. And I've said this before, I think he's comedically big. Let me pause this real quick. Alright, so yeah, a lot of people give this guy grief about his face sculpt. I actually, first time I saw this design in, I think I saw it online somewhere, but I think it's from IDW, where it's got the kind of mouth place the original one had, but it's kind of carved to look like fangs. First time I saw that, I was like, I really want my Razorclaw to have that face. So I'm actually really happy that they did that. This is the Unique Toys face, which is much more G1 accurate. So I mean, you got to kind of decide G1 accurate or IDW. I really like this IDW design for the face. I'm very happy they went with that. I think it looks great. But that's just me. So let's talk posability, and then we'll get into some comparisons. Head is on a swivel. Doesn't rotate or anything, so swivel there. Shoulders are on ratchets up down. They've got 2 hinges in and out, although it does try and collapse itself back in, so you kind of have to watch that. The waist, this is pretty bad. I'll be honest. I really don't like that. Swivel at the bicep, bends at the elbow. Hand does swivel. Waist swivels. And it extends whether you want it to or not. I really, I'm sitting here and I'm pushing and I'm pushing and I'm pushing, and it's all the way up there. And it's just not locking in any better. And I think that's because the predaking head is on the inside of the body. So I guess maybe that doesn't work very well. I don't know. I don't know what to do there. It's pretty bad, I think. Anyway, so yeah, so waist swivel, legs ratchet up, down, in, out. There's a swivel at the thigh. There's actually another hinge at the thigh too, if you need that. Knee ratchets up and down. Foot is on a ball joint, and there's also a hinge there. Toe pivots and the heel pivots. Technically, you're supposed to flip these claws in, like so, but I like leaving them out as heel spurs because he's kind of a top-heavy figure, so he needs all the support he can get, especially when his body flails out. Now, you can take these guns here, and you can actually fold these up like this, and he can hold on to them if you want to. Give him some really big blasters. I like the shoulder cannon look myself, so I like to just plug it in, and there's two different portholes back here. I used the one closer in for the line mode. It just kind of looks better. And then the one further out for robot mode. No. Reverse that. One further out for line mode and the one further in for robot mode. But it's really just your preference. However you want to do it. But I do like the shoulder cannons better than... For him, I like him better on his shoulders. I still wish he had guns, though. Like, real guns, because Razorclaw had guns, G1. And then you can hold his sword, or his tail whip, which actually holds in there pretty well. Unlike it does when it's ported into the robot, or beast mode. And his feet, I'm noticing the ball joints aren't very tight, or maybe it's the swivel up there, so he's having some hard times standing. His feet just don't support him very well, so I'm going to prop him on the back. Shouldn't have to do that, but I do. Alright, and then he does come with this really, really large sword, and you can just port that into his hand, and you can just hold that. This doesn't look as bad as some people have been saying it. I think, you know, Razorclaw has always had a really big sword, and hell, G1 Razorclaw had Predaking's sword, and that's the sword he would use. So, and this is not the full Predaking sword for TFC. So, yeah, I kind of have to say back off, guys. I mean, let him have a big sword. He's a big robot. I think he can hold a big sword. Anyway, let's do some size comparisons. Here he is next to the Seeker mold. As you can see, Starscream goes about up to his crotch. That's how big this guy is. Here he is next to the Unique Toys Razorclaw. You can see he's comes up to about the jaw on the lion head. Here he is next to Megatron. And again, he comes up to about the eyes on the lion head. So he's a really big guy. So let's move these guys off to the side here. And then I wanted to show him off with this Devastator here. So this is the one that really kind of gets me a little bit. Here is the core robot for Predaking standing next to Devastator, and he comes up right below the vents here. He's over twice as tall as a Combiner. That does bug me, but at the same time does leave me a little optimistic for the Combine mode when TFC's done. But I can't rate this figure on that because that's what I don't do that. So, but yeah, maybe he's gonna be really nice and big, in a good way. And here's one I haven't actually done this comparison yet, so I just kind of wanted to do it because I wanted to see. I was curious myself. Sue me. As soon as I get this back together right. Here he is next to Hexatron. And they are pretty much eye to eye. So Six Shot and Razorclaw are the same height. Yeah, that doesn't sit well with me at all. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of cool to have two really big Decepticons, but Six Shot was, I believe, the biggest, from what I've seen, he was the biggest of the non-combinder teams. Just the biggest general Decepticon. Trypticon excluded. And Scorponok. Okay, so exclude a whole bunch of guys. But he's one of the biggest ones, and Razorclaw, I know, was not that big. And so, one more shot here. Here he is next to his teammates. Rampage and Headstrong. And yeah, they are, they look decent together. I think, I think he's too big. And just because I have him sitting here and I love this figure, here he is next to the Starscream. The Aegir Starscream. And that actually doesn't look too bad. So all in all, my issues, the line head not latching in, the feet are too loose to really support the body, waist doesn't lock in, and he's too big. I really like the look of him. I love the design. You know, the parts that lock together, they lock together so well that it's really nice. Almost like he's so far that he's the best one of the TFC. And by far, he's the best one. Now, him, they have issues. And I'm not issues that I'm really that okay with. So, all in all, I'm going to have to give him I'm going to have to give him a 5 out of 10. I want to give him a higher score, but I can't. I can't. He's nice looking. But like I said, things don't lock into place. Things flop around. The tail doesn't even connect in properly. The feet are just too swivelly. And it just, nothing holds together as well as it should. And that's really unfortunate. Because it could be a great figure. And he looks great in both modes. He looks amazing in both modes. I mean, that's why, I would still give this guy a higher score, because although he doesn't look as good, he's more functional. He definitely is a better robot on his own, and he fits in better scale with his teammates. He's just all around, he's a better design that actually works on its own. He looks great. He just has so many problems, and he's just way too big. It's offsetting how big he is. I mean, he's the size of Six Shot. His teammates come up to his waist. He's twice the size of him. I think, he should be maybe a head shorter, and then that would be an acceptable size range. That would be perfect. So, yeah. 6 out of 10. Or did I say 5? We'll go with 6. He's not... Yeah. We'll go with 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10. So, all in all, I recommend him if you see him on sale. Obviously, if you're in it for the full combined mode, get it, but I can't sit here and say, get him for the combined mode, because I haven't seen the combined mode. I've put him into arm mode once, and that was just to connect him and one of the aerial bots to Devastator. And that's it. I have not put him into combined mode, and I have not put him into combined mode. I won't do it until I have the full set. I actually really want to combine him for the first time on screen during a review. So, that's what I want to do. So you guys, it might be a long fiddly review, but that's what I'm planning. First time combining him will be on screen, so I can get the initial reaction of, holy crap, this thing's awesome, or, oh, this is definitely another predaking. So yeah, my enthusiasm over the TFC guys was really high with this guy. Kind of went down a little bit with this guy, and now it's pretty down for this guy. So I'm hoping their tantrum brings it around for me. And we still haven't even seen promo pics of Dive Bomb yet. As of today. Today is Tuesday, June 24th, and I haven't seen anything like that. So so yeah, I guess that's really all there is to say. 6 out of 10. Get him if he's on clearance. Other than that, I kind of hard pressed to find a place for him if he's just by himself, because he's just too big. He's just too big.